dương hai chia clay đấy thì mình xây chia về nhảy màn bong hai đã nhẹ mở tích ọt ní hả bọn tích
Ini chúng thường mình lọc Telegram cho được mấy vô file rồi. Telegram đây.
thế dương miên bong ôn vì Khmer Time mini đà rá vì nông bình pop sron nói lên nơi nè sron ở toàn khơi đa nhẹ chỗ bọn
Có đặt cái nào nó cái chắc. Rồi chắc bắt một tí đấy. Con tôi Telegram này. Hiện tại cộng. Alo bộ. Đi đâm vậy bộ.
dương miên bánh ha dương miên bánh ha zoom á đều nẹp sinh chứ còn trâu lọt bàn á
Tôi đập phí rồi vô đây nó cũng không vô địa bàn đâu và ta tích chết vòng kiểu
bữa nào vậy về châu là nâng tới hay đặt passcode là phải của mùi hồng 704 đó nè nâng tới cái này hay cái về tình list châu là bong ôn dương miền vật hình list châu sông chui sập quạt không đấy con anh mở cái vetting list miền vetting list sắp ở con trâu mà bong ôn dương để trên nệm xa po miền chờ chui bao ní phóng bao camera bây giờ chờ khơi từng ngọc ní giờ bà rong sẵn hà lẹ mục dọc quá nè miền này hà này
bà em bảo
cha nó bóng cha nó châu EAC miền là to miền cha nó bóng hoàn toàn chẳng có toàn là nó
sron là ná lỡ sron
nhưng mà
bao nhiêu
chúng ta APM nhớ vậy
chẳng hả ok dương ngày đọc phèm từ Bravia này ra man từ đó
con xong như bao mê hoặc là xuống hết sân vào
trong ai xong rồi bao nói dần bọn hến bọn anh chui mơ lừa lại vetting list nơi miền vetting list tiết bọn
anh chụp tập tập
ok phía ra xong bài phía ra
chỉ một xu bóng xong rồi bài
bài vốt đôi toàn khơi châu ma hoài vốt này bóng ra xong bài bóng ra xong bài
cả rồi nó tiền này nhưng mà đi tôi đi cho điều kiện cả đi mấy đi ra cùng nó người kiện cả đi cả còn được rồi đang được sát đi rồi
ก็เรียกไม่ก็มีมุ้งก็เรียกไม่ก็เรียกจอมคนไหนต่อทำงานที่อะไรเองว่าไอ้ปากคอมเตอร์ก็ปากที่มันจีบไปย่อยจอมคอมเตอร์ได้แค่ดาวมองปากการบริษัทของเราคอมเตอร์ปากไม่ใช่ปากเป็นคนไหนนะครับ
พรจำช่วยมือในขนมพรมือในขนมเวทีนี้ตาตามีนนาเก็บสักเซนติเดนในขนมนั้นถ้าไปกอดโจมาปีนาสมอยบองโอนได้โจมาทางขนมนั้นคือสมอยดักไซเลนมาดักไซเลนทำไมก็มอยสำเร็จโจลพอไม่สำเร็จมีสำเร็จโจลហើយសូមជំរាបជូនដំណឹងដែរថាមុននឹងចាប់ផ្ដើមសន្និសីទសារព័ត៌មានខ្ញុំស្នើសុំឲ្យបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលនៅក្នុង Zoom នេះគឺបើកមុខទាំងអស់គ្នាហើយយើងអាចថតរូបជុំគ្នាមួយបាទដើម្បីបង្ហាញមុខហើយបន្ទាប់ទៅខ្ញុំនឹងធ្វើសន្និសីទកាសែតហើយយើងមានវាគ្មិន3នាក់គឺមានខ្ញុំមានលោកខងវណ្ណៈដែលជាប្រធានអង្គភាពគាំពារជនរងគ្រោះហើយនឹងលោក Daniel Met បាទដែលគាត់ជាកុងស៊ុលតង់ជាទីប្រឹក្សាសម្រាប់ការរៀបចំសិក្ខាសាលាបងទឹកឡើងមកនេះបងទឹកទៅប្រាវហៀអត់ទៅបងទៅផនមើលឈ្មោះផនមើលឈ្មោះArino Buya Yuki នេះដែលគាត់នៅជាប់យូរហើយបាទហ្នឹងប្រហែលជានេះគាត់ប្រហែលជាបញ្ហាអ៊ីនធឺណិតបុណ្ណាអើយបុណ្ណាសូមជួយបិទ mute ផងអូនចាំសួរសំណួរចាំបើក mute
បិទហើយបង
អរគុណខ្ញុំនឹងទុកពេលវេលា5នាទីទៀតដើម្បីអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យបងប្អូនផ្សេងទៀតគាត់ចូលមកអញ្ចឹងសូមចាប់ផ្ដើមសន្និសីទសារព័ត៌មានរបស់យើងនៅម៉ោង 10:40 នាទីបាទសារតែប្រព័ន្ធបងប្អូនខ្លះប្រព័ន្ធអ៊ីនធឺណិតគាត់អត់សូវបានល្អអញ្ចឹងគាត់អាចយើងយូរតិច
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Quang là
Số đây poly đáng lưới bạn.
Bằng lưới.
Ọt sâu cho bác tế đạch đạch. Ọt sâu cho bác tế. Lưu đã tới lưu tôi thao kìa mình mà rồi kìa rồi ấy. Trong vậy thao kìa xùm lên kìa mình mà rồi kìa rồi ấy.
Con ráng vậy không lên nữa bằng thứ ba này bằng.
1, 2, 3, can you hear me, please? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, you hear me?
ដូចច្បាស់ជាងមុន
1, 2, 3, you hear me?
មិនដឹងជាអង់គ្លេសអូជួយនិយាយអង់គ្លេសតិចមើលចង់ដល់ញ៉ាចង់ស្ដាប់ស្ដាប់ឮអត់
1, 2, 3. Check sound. 1, 2, 3. Could you hear me okay?
Yes.
Ba xung phải tốt bánh nhưng đặt
My
Wi-Fi
apology. Internet connection. My internet connection lost. May I now start the press conference?
Rất nấu ấy.
Okay, bang.
Rất nấu ấy.
Bad bang.
Rất nấu ấy.
Are you ready?
Yes, thank you.
Chân xong anh nhát chỉ nghiệp xua nhận xa phòn miền chiết on trả chiết hay.
Good morning, all press, official, international and national journalists, and welcome and good morning to our ECC official. We have Mr. Hoàng Văn, the president or the head of the VSS, and we have also Daniel, the consultant. Daniel and I will be speaking in the press conference today. Before we start the press conference today, I would like to invite all participants on Zoom to turn on your camera so that we could see your face, and the technician staff member could take a group photo before I could start the official press conference in just a moment. Please turn on your video. And again, all of you are invited to turn on your video.
Samsung này lừa được.
Excellency, on my side, we do not have a webcam. That is why we could not turn on video. And for those who conceal their face, they can continue to do so. Now, technical staff, please take screenshots for those who are joining the press conference this morning. please do the screenshot. Are you all ready? And have the photo been taken? I believe that screenshots were done. First and foremost, good morning to all press officials, international and national journalists who are joining the press conference upon the invitation of the ECCC. The invitation was issued on the 29th of May 2022. The press conference today is on the workshop on victims held by the extraordinary chambers in the courts of Cambodia. The press conference, the workshop will last for 3 days from the 3rd to the 5th of May 2022. That is to say, we will have official opening on the morning, in the morning of May 3rd, 2022 at Riyadh Hotel. The press conference today is before the commencement of the workshop. Please be informed that the workshop focuses mainly on the victims and the dissemination of advisory reports on the victim-related activity in the implementation of the residual functions after the ECCC concludes. Today, my colleague and I will be doing the presentation. My name is Ned Petra. I am the chief of PAS, and we have Mr. Wanna, the head of the victim support section at the ECCC, and Daniel Matt, the consultant or advisor assisting in holding the workshop on victims. Two of them are here with me to respond to any related relevant questions in relation to the holding of the workshop and also victim related activities. I would like to inform you that the workshop on victims and dissemination of the advisory report will last from the 3rd to the 5th of May 2022. There are main objectives. Some of the main objectives are meaningful participation of victims in the judicial process and on reparation that we have in the judicial process so far. And in addition, there will be discussion on reparation victims in the judicial process function to be performed by the ECCC. In addition, there will be discussion on reparation victims in the judicial process and the workshop function to be performed by the ECCC. In addition, there will be an opinion of the victims what to do next after the legal proceeding before the ECC concludes, aiming at providing the benefits for the victims, that is the victim of the democratic Cambodia. They went through the sufferings and also the injury during the democratic Cambodia. I would like to inform everyone that for the 3-day workshop, there will be participations from international law experts and national law experts. They will be participating with us to provide the comments as well as all the initiative in relations to victim participation in the process after the legal proceeding. And the many topics, a number of topics will be raised based on the lesson learned and experiences that we have worked with the victims and what we have done with the relevant chambers and units of the ECC. We will share with you the guidelines on how to implement in the future, particularly what we should do to allow the young generation after the Khmer Rouge Democratic Cambodia remember the tragedy occurred in the Democratic Cambodia, and also to enable them in the national reconciliation and psychological reconciliation, and in particular the survivors of the Khmer Rouge regime. Then also to discuss the future projects in the future. These are the main topics that we'll be discussing in the 3-day workshop. And for tomorrow, that is the opening ceremony of the workshop. The ECCC is inviting all international and national press officials or journalists to join the opening ceremony starting from 8:30. That is the official launching opening. There will be presence of the senior government officials and diplomatic representatives. And in addition, we have the co-chairs of France, ECC France, the ambassador of France will be partaking in the workshop opening ceremony as well. This is about the arrangement of the workshop on victims and dissemination of the advisory report on the victim-related activity in the implementation of the residual function of the ECCC. And I would like to inform ladies and gentlemen that victims who are civil parties will be participating as well. They are victims and civil parties in cases 01 and 02. They will be sharing their views. And this is relevant to the advisory report co-prepared by the co-rapporteur appointed by the ECCC in the past year, that is 2021. The co-rapporteurs are Judge Yutra and Judge Claudia Fens. They were appointed as the co-rapporteurs on the residual function in relation to victims. And there has been a request to share views on the victims in relation as regards the residual function. And there was a report issued by the court, that is the advisory report on the victim-related activity in the implementation of the residual function. We will share the advisory report to all journalists who are joining with us today. Recommendations are made in the advisory report on victim participation, and the co-rapporteurs submitted the report mentioning 3 main points. Number 1, the analysis on the aspects in relation to the victim roles in the court proceedings. Number 2, the types of projects to be considered and established for victim reparation. And thirdly, the methods, approaches adhered in the implementation of the future projects. I would like to inform Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, that based on the advisory report prepared by co-rapporteurs Judge Yutra and Judge Claudia Fens, mentioned the roles of victims in the court proceedings. It has been found that the ECCC is a leading
ដោយមានការចូលរួមពីជនរងគ្រោះហើយ
international criminal court. There is the internationalized criminal court. The victim participation before the ECC is without requirements, without limitation. They are participating as victims to provide evidence, testimony, and also victims of civil parties to claim reparation. And the participation before the ECCC by victim is broader compared to any period of time in the history. And on cases, on case 001, there were 94 civil parties who were victims, and in case 002, cases 1 and 2, there has been more than 4,000 civil parties. They are very active in the court proceedings. And point number 2, for the proposed projects for consideration in the reparation, there are guidelines and initiatives to be implemented in the residual function to be implemented by the ECCC. I would like to inform about the residual function of the ECC. That is, after the ECCC concludes its jurisdiction, that is to concludes the legal proceeding before the ECCC. We will have other activities to be implemented by the United Nations and also by the governments. And in addition, there will be education on the transitional justice, achievements and legacy to be included in education at school and university, as well as the awareness raising, disseminations to the public, exhibits, study visits, and a discussion on radio, and also website broadcast of news, information, and data provisions to all interested people. I would like to inform that since the commandments of the Khmer Rouge Tribunal, the first trial in case was started in the 2009, there has been approximately 690,000 audience participating directly in the court proceeding and also receive the dissemination. Compared to other country and other international like criminal courts, the number is higher. And this court is so much interested by the victims and the young generation who were born after the Khmer Rouge period and democratic Cambodia. This is a success for this court. It is not only to provide justice for the victims of the democratic Cambodia, to the justice for those who passed away, who perished, and who survived. This court is providing the education on history, the history of the democratic Cambodia, and also the knowledge on the court proceeding before the ECCC. Based on the survey by international institution, cooperated in collaboration with the national institution. And the survey was conducted on the students who participated in the study visits and who joined the court proceeding directly at the court. All the respondents stated that one-day visit at the ECCC could be compared to the fact that they have finished reading one book on Khmer Rouge or democratic Cambodia. This shows the benefits for students and also for the public who have attended the court proceeding directly at the courtroom. The PAS organized the visit for the public. The visit was conducted at the court, and we adjourned the study visit sometime during the for a period of time. For quite some time during the COVID outbreak, and we need to take care of the 3 do's and 3 don'ts health measure, reconciliation, ADR, and national conciliation, and also the psychological hearings are all included, suggested. The research, the preservation of the remains, and the commemoration of those who passed away, building of the stupas and other types of reparation are suggested. These are all the recommendations. And for the recommendation suggested by co-rapporteur is not only about the communication with the donors and relevant stakeholder, but also the communication with the press to share all the important views and concepts, so that this work is broad. In addition, it is recommended that we should mobilize the fund to implement the project transparently, effectively, and responsibly. I would like to inform all of you that victims participated meaningfully in the court proceedings. That is the trials against the senior leaders and those who were most responsible for the regime, and those who committed the crimes committed from 1975, 17 April 1975 to the 6th January 1979. So there are 2 types of reparation at the court, that is the moral reparation and collective reparation. Based on the report, there are 26 projects. In case 001, 2 projects, and 002/01, 11 projects, and case 002/02, 13 projects. I would like to indicate as well that all the projects for the victims can happen only for the projects which can be implemented with sufficient funds. This is the important point. So in the 3-day workshop from tomorrow, the workshop victims, the experts, and other relevant stakeholders will be discussing the implementation of the past activities, and we are to be ready for future implementation as well for other residual functions, so that the victims' roles in the court proceeding and to seek justice before the ECCC, that is the International Allied Court and Hybrid Court, can conclude meaningfully, and thereby could achieve and the jurisdiction, could meet the jurisdiction of the court. And before I conclude, I would like to inform ladies and gentlemen that from February 2006 through 2022, it has been over 16 years old. It has been over 16 years, and the court have tried 6 cases. So cases 01, 02, 03, and 04. And why we have 6 cases? Because some cases were served into smaller phases. And for now, there is still a pending case. And we are awaiting the pronouncement of the judgment. That is the judgment against case 002/02. One, the surviving accused, Mr. Kirsampon, former state president. And currently he is 90 years old. The case, the judgment against case 002/02 is scheduled to pronounce in the third quarter 2022. This is the recent development that I could inform all of you. And this court has jurisdictions to try the crimes committed in the democratic Cambodia, and also to try the senior leaders and those who were most responsible person who committed the crimes between 17 April 1975 to the 6th January of 1979. And in the period, it is believed that the population of at least 1.7 million perished during the Democratic Cambodia due to the inhuman acts and other activity. This is what I would like to inform the journalists about the what we have prepared for the workshop for 3 days, and I have provided inputs already, and 3 of us, Mr. Hong Wana and Mr. Daniel Met, are ready to receive your question. And before I give the floor to the press official journalists, I would like to give the floor to Daniel and to make any more inputs, please.
Thank you, Pektra, for your very comprehensive explanation of all that the ECCC has.
Daniel អត់ទាន់ឮបាទជាភាសាខ្មែរសូមអញ្ជើញ
ខ្ញុំមានភាសាខ្មែរបានដែរឯកបានលើអត់លើបានអត់ Okay, and is there a translation on the Khmer channel?
Daniel.
Okay, thank you again to Bong Pektra for his comprehensive explanation of the work of the ECCC on behalf of victims over the past 16 years, as he explained, and also explaining a bit about the residual mechanism, which is now on its way to functioning after the close of case 22 in the next few months. We are looking forward to the victims workshop this week as a preliminary effort of bringing together key stakeholders from civil society, from the state institutions, from international organizations and embassies, and most of all from the community of civil parties who have taken part in the proceedings at the ECCC over the last 16 years. We will have the presence of 19 civil parties over the 3 days, in addition to another 70 or 80 or so participants who will join us all 3 days. And of course, at the opening ceremony, we will have more excellencies and ambassadors joining us as well. So we're looking forward to having a symbolic, but also a active and meaningful discussion that shows the level of attention, interest, and dedication that the court has to victims, and also opens the door to the stakeholders and to the victims to ask them what the ECCC can do for them in this residual phase. So it's a big moment of transition, and we're hopeful that the stakeholders and civil parties joining the event will take this opportunity to be honest and be clear and also be creative about what kinds of programs they would like to see in the next 3 years of the residual mandate. So we're very happy to take any questions at this point in Khmer or in English, and thank you for joining this morning.
បាទអរគុណ Daniel សូមអញ្ជើញបងវណ្ណៈមានអ្វីបន្ថែមបង
បាទសូមអរគុណលោកភត្រាបានផ្ដល់វិធីការយកមកឲ្យខ្ញុំក្នុងនាមជាតំណាងជំនុំគ្រោះខ្ញុំមានការរីករាយដោយលោកស្រីឆ្លប់បានលើកហើយថាយើងមានការវិវត្តថ្មីដែលអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យជនរងគ្រោះចូលរួមនៅក្នុងរបស់តុលាការមានជាតាមនីក្នុងពេលដែលគាត់ចូលរួមនោះគឺយើងបានយកចិត្តទុកដាក់ឲ្យគាត់ចូលរួមក្នុងនាមជាភាគីមួយក្នុងចំណោមភាគី3ហើយទន្ទឹមនេះក៏យើងមានបង្កើតគម្រោងសំណងក្នុងប្រព័ន្ធតុលាការនិងសំណងក្រៅប្រព័ន្ធតុលាការដើម្បីយកចិត្តទុកដាក់អំពីអ្វីដែលកើតឡើងនៅតាមសហគមន៍ដូចជាបញ្ហាផ្នែកអប់រំបញ្ហាផ្នែកផ្លូវចិត្តបាទទន្ទឹមនេះ ECC យល់ឃើញថានៅពេលដែលបញ្ចប់នីតិវិធីទៅគួរតែមានការយកចិត្តទុកដាក់បន្ថែមទៀតដល់ជនរងគ្រោះតាមតន្ត្រីនេះក៏ដូចជាជនរងគ្រោះចំនួនក្រោយបាទដែលជាកូនអ្នកចំនួនក្រោយក៏ចាត់ទុកជាជនរងគ្រោះដែរហើយនឹងជនរងគ្រោះទូទៅបាទអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុងបន្ទាប់ពីនីតិវិធីបញ្ចប់ទៅយើងទាំងអស់គ្នានឹងចូលរួមពិនិត្យជាពិសេសក្នុងស្ថាប័ន3ថ្ងៃនេះតើគួរមានគម្រោងអ្វីដែលនឹងអាចបន្តអនុវត្តความពីលើជនរងគ្រោះហើយខ្ញុំថាមានសារៈសំខាន់តែបន្ទាប់ពីនីតិវិធីក្នុងប្រព័ន្ធតុលាការបញ្ចប់ទៅអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាទាំងអ្នកដែលធ្លាប់ជាជនដៃដល់កាលពីសម័យមុនជនរងគ្រោះទាំងអស់គ្នាគឺយើងគិតថាអត់មាននីតិវិធីតុលាការការចោទប្រកាន់បន្តទៀតទេគឺមានតែការអភិវឌ្ឍនិងការយកចិត្តទុកដាក់ជួយគាំពារគ្នាវិញទៅមកថាតើគួរធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចដើម្បីឲ្យជនរងគ្រោះមានការសិក្សានិងសង្គមមានការអភិវឌ្ឍបាទសូមអរគុណបាទ
ខ្ញុំសូមអរគុណបងវណ្ណៈដែលបានប្រធានអង្គភាពគាំពារជនរងគ្រោះដែលបានចូលរួមផ្ដល់មតិបន្ថែមខ្ញុំស្នើសុំចេះបងខាងបងវរាសូមនេះមីក្រូហ្វូនអាសាវាលោតចូលពេលដែលនេះណាអញ្ចឹងសូមបងជួយបិទបន្ថែមផងបាទអរគុណឥឡូវនេះសូមជូនដល់អ្នកសារព័ត៌មានជាតិនិងអន្តរជាតិរបស់យើងដែលមានសំណួរបាទ Daniel you have something to add?
One thing is that the English channel is not working, so for any foreigners on the call, it's not working. Bong Vora.
Trời mà Pola chui đi xem Pola. Speaking to Khmer, why you select speaking to Khmer?
រំខានរូបបាទក៏រំខានរូប
បាទជាបងប៉ូលីដាជួយបានអត់
ពួកគាត់ដល់ពេលអាចចុចអានេះsẽអត់លឺសូរសំឡេងគេនឹងបកថាម៉េចបកមិនមកនិយាយទៅបកទៅលឺតាខ្ញុំលឺយើងនិយាយពីអ្នកលឺដល់ពេលសំឡេងមកចូលការខ្ញុំវាអត់លឺមកមានរបស់យើងតើមានសំណួរអីការីត្រៀមឆ្លើយបាទសូមអញ្ជើញ Do you have any questions? I'm ready. My colleague and I. ត្រូវសួរថាហូរនេះតឡាការចំណាយលុយប្រមាណឬក៏អីប្រមាណហើយមកទៅមុខតារា Probably you are asking how much budget has been utilized by the Khmer Rouge Tribunal up to now, please. បាទអញ្ជើញ Can I invite Mr. Dara from Phnom Penh Port? Please. Good morning, Your Excellency. With regard for the 3-day workshop, committee workshop, through the
Recording in progress.
បាទខ្ញុំសូមអរគុណសូមជូនសំណួរនេះទៅលោកហងវណ្ណៈប្រធានអង្គ
may I refer the question to Mr. Hong Wana, the chief of the team unit.
តាក់ទងជាមួយសិក្ខាសាលានេះទំនងជាដាញ់ត្រូវបន្ថែមទៀតតែខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបជូនលោកស្រីថា
Thank you very much for this workshop. It's been for 3 days. The 19 people party will participate in this workshop. And yeah, I have invited 19 of the civil parties, but at the beginning also we have NGO and participants from various institutions. Yeah, participants will be from both national and international institutions. I will inform you more about the 3-day workshop.
You have something to add?
I missed the question exactly, but it was about who is joining the workshop.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think Bong Vai Nak explained it again, but we're happy to be inviting. Maybe I'll mention about the speakers at the opening ceremony. As Bong Pektra said in his opening statement, we will be in the honorable presence of His Excellency Tony Kran, who's the head of the Office of Administration, His Excellency Kao Rami, representing the Royal Government of Cambodia, as a minister attached to the Prime Minister's office, and also by the Ambassador Pele from France, from the French Embassy. And that will be followed by the beginning of what we're calling the more active part of the workshop, where Dr. David J. Cohen from Stanford University in the United States, who has been a long-time partner and researcher and monitor around the ECCC and other international tribunals. He will be taking the floor as the moderator for the following 3 days. He will kind of be the MC for the event, and he will introduce all of our keynote speakers. So we will also be hearing a video message from Ambassador at Large for Global Criminal Justice from the United States Department of State. Her name is Beth Van Skag. She will send a video message because she's currently in Washington, D.C. But it's a very nice message, and I think it's a great inspiration for the people who will be in the room. And it's a very special opportunity to hear from her because she has just started in that position in the new Biden administration. And she has a lot on her agenda, and it's great that she's paying such close attention to the events at the ECCC. We will have some keynotes throughout the week. And at the close of the event, we will have the presence of 2 civil parties speaking on behalf of the group of civil parties. They'll be followed by the Ambassador of Japan, Ambassador Mikami, and then the representative from the ECCC, Mr. Knut Rosenhaug, from the UN side of the ECCC, will speak to close the event and talk about the next steps. Any further questions? I'm happy to answer.
Thank
you very much, Daniel, for your party. The one who were among the civil party to participate actively during the trial, and the 19 civil party the representative of all civic party in this case. And the comment on behalf of the victims of the victim of the Khmer Rouge Tribunal, their voices were heard by the expert, and we will take the statement into account in response to the will of the victims. The participation is very significant in the search for the truth. And our expectation is that the workshop will be participated by the expert, both national and international, as well as the common ideas from the how to maintain the legacy, how to maintain such good legacy, and it also we will also have the recording the history and the suffering of the Cambodian people. And secondly, the mental healing of the victims, because victims had gone through the 3 years, 20 days, 20 months, 3 years, every 20 months regime. Major disaster crime against humanity, genocide, and war crimes, and crime against humanity against Muslim people. There are many crimes involving there are many crimes committed at the worksite. Of course, married were also brought to charge. As well as torture and the killing to forced evacuation of people. These are the facts raised during the trial. So the workshop will provide us more ideas and will reveal more stories of the victims. I wish to stress that not only today that we stress on the participation of the victims. It was seriously taken into account in the beginning of the trial. So the researcher work is that will act as to the victims. So all parties focus very much on the victims, and also to make sure that all everything happened during Khmer Rouge regime will be remembered, and we all will participate in the prevention of the acts committed during the Khmer Rouge regime that will not be repeated in another country. I hope that more people will come to participate in this workshop. No more questions. I heard no more questions. Thank you, Your Excellency.
អវតកនឹងនឹងចំណាយពេលប្រមាណទៀតដើម្បីបញ្ចប់
How much time is the research work of ECCC will be finished, and how much budget is expected to be utilized to the remaining phase? According to the additional protocol between Cambodia and the UN, the for 3 days, for 3 years, focusing on the of the court after the procedural, after the the procedure finished. When the legal aspect is finished, and we also have another case waiting for judgment that role to select role to event upon the fourth quarter of 2022 after the final appeal judgment the research work will be finished. And now mainly we are focusing much about the role of the victims and make sure that the suffering of the victim will be remembered. It will be used for the public dissemination and also for education. The rest will be involving the archives, meaning document before ECCC. And the most important is that how to allow the public to read all of these documents. So this is also a research work of ECCC. And therefore we are organizing this workshop. We will study on various projects that is very beneficial and valuable for the victims. And it is asking us to split for additional budget for the research work of ECCC. And therefore, the ECCC has spent its budget in the beginning up to 2021. The Meru Stormer has spent 335.2 US dollars. The court also spent 237.8 million dollars. And the national party this budget was received from friendly countries. The country contributes most budget is Japan. Japan has split for 71.96 million US dollars. Sorry, correction. 70 million for the international party. The civil party, so in total, Japan spends 88 more than 88 million US dollars. So Japan is the biggest donated country for the Khmer Canada, 3, 5 European Union, 6 Germany, 7 Sweden, 8 England, 9 France, 10 Norway. So these are the top 10 countries that have split budget to the Khmer Junior.
Okay.
Thank you very much. You don't have any further question?
Okay, Daniel Daniel អាចជំរាបជូនទៅកម្មវិធីរបស់ដល់បងប្អូនយើងតិចថាពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងរយៈពេល3ថ្ងៃនេះកម្មវិធីណាដែលយើង open សម្រាប់ public កម្មវិធីណាដែលយើង close door មិនអនុញ្ញាតទៅដើម្បីពេលដែលអ្នកសារព័ត៌មានគាត់ចាប់អារម្មណ៍គាត់អាចអញ្ជើញចូលរួមទៅយកព័ត៌មានបានបាទ
Thank you. So the opening session tomorrow morning from 8:30 a.m. until 11:40 a.m. 11:45 a.m. will be an open public session. So in that session, there will be the opening remarks from different dignitaries, and there will be the first keynote speech from Sotiri Yum, who is a civil society advocate and a trained psychologist, who will speak about dealing with trauma and healing from the past, and also about her work with survivors of sexual violence, and also working with young people to engage with the older generations about the past. Following her keynote, it will be the lunchtime, and our guests will go to lunch, and the members of the public will be asked to go home. And then following lunch, it will be a closed session just for our participants. We are also inviting the members of the public and the press to return on Thursday afternoon from 1 p.m. after lunchtime. That will be the closing plenary session of the event, when all of the participants will come back together and they will be sharing the ideas that they have worked about over the past 3 days. And they will be presenting their proposals and their topics, and we hope to have a lively discussion. So we invite the public to listen to that discussion and hear what our participants have to share. And there will also be some closing remarks from Bong Banak, from David Cohen from Stanford University, and from the people who I mentioned earlier, the civil parties, the ambassador of Japan, and UNICART coordinator. So you're invited to the first morning of tomorrow and the afternoon of Thursday. If you are coming, please inform the public affairs team, Bong Pektra's team. Please share your email address and make sure that you bring a vaccination card to the hotel tomorrow morning in order to receive your security badge as a press. You also need to please bring a form of press credentials or identification so that we can confirm your identity along with your vaccination. And then after that, after you register tomorrow morning, you can use the same badge to enter again on Thursday afternoon. Please arrive by 8:30 a.m. in order to register so that we can start the event on time. And again, the event is taking place entirely at the Hyatt Regency. You can park your motos or vehicles in the garage of the Hyatt Regency or at the parking lot for motorbikes across the street at the National Museum or Salat Rachana. Yeah, I think that is all, but feel free to add anything, Bong Pektra, and thank you again, everyone, for joining this morning.
Well, good Daniel,
Thank you very much, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel, for your information related to the workshop. About commercial, you know, Hyatt is a 5-star hotel. There's coffee available. And welcome your participation. If you wish to drink coffee outside the hotel, you know, spend your own cash. Thank you very much for people from the press for participating in the meeting this morning, and thank you very much for your participation at the 3-day workshop. We will talk about the residual work after the Cairo strike finish, its procedural aspects. Thank you very much, Mr. Mangwana, Daniel, the advisor for the 3-day workshop, and thank you very much for the technical people has been asked to very much for the professors, and also thank you very much for the technical people from the DCC that have to use the Zoom meeting at the time. And coming to the conclusion of our meeting, we organize such a meeting, such press conference. Then for you in Singapore, we have decided to do a Zoom meeting, and it also allows us to conduct one another. I thank you very much. With regard to the workshop, we have posted on the website for your information in relation to the two-day workshop for people and the press people to be aware of. You feel free to come to participate in the 3-day workshop. Thank you very much for my colleagues, press people, and the press people. May I announce the closure of the Zoom meeting. May I wish you before putting and I wish you all success in your path and be safe for your journey and to get rid of any COVID-19 infection. The speaker having myself has not infected by COVID-19 at all so far. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Record